Can I have a spotlight, please? Thank you.
Welcome to WrestleReward, the show that looks at whether the wrestle was worth the reward. Clever, right? I'm Justin, and on today's Spotlight episode, it's Bayley versus Eva Marie for the NXT Women's Championship from the November 25th, 2015 episode of NXT. With the deck stacked against Bayley, would her title reign survive, or would NXT see a new evolution of its women's division? Back on August 22nd at TakeOver Brooklyn in front of over 15,000 strong for the first takeover outside of the NXT arena in Orlando, Bayley defeated Sasha Banks to become the new NXT Women's Champion, raising the bar for women's wrestling in WWE in the process. Bayley and Sasha would raise it once more in the first women's match to headline a TakeOver 2 months later, which was also the first Iron Man match in WWE history. Bayley did what America wouldn't do in 2008 and shut down Banks for good, sending Sasha out of NXT with the definitive rematch victory, though not before both women received their literal and figurative flowers. With NXT now absent 3 of its 4 Horsewomen due to Sasha, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte moving to the main roster, NXT started over with a reloaded division that saw Bayley joined by the newly signed Asuka, along with NXT original Emma and her tag team partner Dana Brooke, Enzo and Cass's valet Carmella, the Samoan Dynasty's Nia Jax, Australian life partners Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, AEW legend Cameron, and the next woman to step up to Bayley, Alexa Bliss. Because there were no kendo sticks on a pole or ex-Bayley boyfriends around this time, Bayley was able to put away Bliss and retain her crown for the first time since TakeOver, but then trouble walked into the NXT arena and her name was
All Red Everything herself, Eva Marie.
After a less than acclaimed 2 years on the main roster where Eva was thrown into the deep end just months after entering wrestling for the sake of WWE's new reality show Total Divas, of which Eva was a key star, she left the bright lights of the USA Network for the modest lighting of the Santino Bros Wrestling Academy to train the new Eva Marie with the Brian Kendrick. Following the months of training, Eva would arrive to NXT on June 3rd where she had at least one fan in the crowd and cited the show-stealing NXT Women's Division as her inspiration to hone her skills and see if she could hang with the best of the best. Eva was able to convince NXT GM William Regal and NXT coach Sarah Del Rey to let her join the brand after a sparring session with the conscience of NXT herself, Aaliyah. And on July 22nd, Eva got her chance in the ring where she defeated the future Peyton Royce with the incredibly named Slice Red No. 2 to start her Red and Goldberg streak at 1-0, eyes firmly set on the NXT Women's title.
It's balls to the wall, I'm going for that title.
Eva's next televised match saw her defeat another future champion when she bested Staten Island native Carmella in Brooklyn on the same night that Bayley would win the NXT Women's title from Sasha Banks. Eva's next victim was someone Peyton and Carmella have both teamed with at WrestleMania, Billie Kay, who some suggest was screwed out of a win when Eva Marie failed to kick out of a pin and was saved by instinctive referee Danilo claiming a shoulder up, allowing Eva to rebound and put another win on her resume.
You gotta be joking me!
Eva would address that controversy later in the month, thanking the referee for not bowing to the peer pressure of a hostile crowd who called him on it. Eva would fake out everyone by seemingly failing to kick out again against Carmella in the rematch, only to reveal that her foot was on the rope prior to the count of 3, leading to Eva bypassing a 3 count to throw Carmella to the floor and earn a count of 10 that gave Eva her 4th straight win. Following a jaunt to Paris with her Total Divas castmates, the biggest event to ever happen on November 4th occurred with Eva Marie returning to NXT and defeating Liv Morgan in Liv's TV debut, or as she was keyed across social media, local competitor. Since she was unexpectedly put on the show and told to give management a new name, which ended up being Marley in honor of a deceased pet, but seemingly everyone in the world hated that name, including those in NXT, so it was gone before the episode even made air. Though her main goal against Bayley was taking the women's title, Eva also had a chance to avenge the only blemish on her NXT record, which happened to be an August 2014 loss to none other than Bayley. But at least Eva had that cool glowing red box that she came out on.
Can I have your attention, please?
There was no laptop in sight, but Michael Cole was the new law of NXT for one night only, with GM William Regal out of commission due to a recent neck surgery. As a result, upstanding man of moral character who would never bow to corporate micromanagement, Michael Cole announced that after discussions with WWE Corporate, he would authorize the match that William Regal never would, Eva Marie versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship. Later in the night, a slow pan-up reveals to us Eva Marie being interviewed by Tom Phillips, where Eva reveals that she's assumed Regal's office for the night so she has more room to celebrate her win, reminding us why she feels so confident that she'll walk away with the title.
I'm the hottest, literally.
And revealing a litany of gifts from her Red Nation in support. We also see Nia Jax emerge to give Eva 2 gifts, one in the bag and another in a bodysuit, as Nia would fulfill the role of every big and tall wrestler before her of starting their run on TV as someone smaller's bodyguard, the second time someone from Nia's family teamed up with Eva. Even later in the show, it's Bayley who now gets her turn to talk to Tom Phillips and gives the same answer that every internet forum user did when asked about Eva Marie.
I'm a wrestler, Tom. and she's not.
Impartial broadcaster Tom Phillips then shows bias by high-fiving Bayley, perhaps still upset over Eva getting the top of his head cut off earlier. The stage is now set and the match is ready to be introduced, but then WWE senior referee Charles Robinson enters from the NXT stage and introduces himself to reveal that WWE Corporate has sent him to personally oversee this main event.
Charles is in charge! That's Mr. Robinson to you!
With the arrival of Eva Marie to the NXT arena, we can hand out the Golden Turtleneck Award for Excellence in Outfit, with Eva donning both red and gold for her championship clash, and if there's anyone who should win an award for their outfit, it should be someone who started their own fashion line. Out comes Bayley with plenty of celebrating on the floor by the fans and her wacky waving and inflatable arm flailing tube men on the stage. Bayley comes face to face with a tiny Bayley and a tall Eva, forecasting the fever pitch in the crowd over these two diametrically opposed personalities. The match begins with a walk-up as the two size each other up and the wrestler Bayley grounds Eva with a side headlock takeover to the mat. The Total Diva Eva quickly decides to ditch the grappling for a good old-fashioned ponytail pull that puts Bayley down. We then get our Gift of the Gods award winner for most gift-worthy moment of the night, with Eva celebrating herself by strumming the air guitar years before Kyle O'Reilly ever turned up to NXT and putting Hulk Hogan to shame. Eva goes for a textbook wrestling suplex and floats over for a pin, but it's not 1958, so it's only good for a 2. While Eva mopes about not winning, Bayley connects on a Bayley to belly out of nowhere, causing Nia Jax to earn her money by yanking the NXT referee out so Eva can once again not be counted down for 3 seconds. The rest of the referee crew comes out to check on Danilo, while back in the ring, Bayley gets rolled up off the distraction with Charles Robinson reporting for duty, but only coming up with a 2 count. Bayley puts Eva back down with an elbow and pleads with one of the legends of her childhood not to do this to her, but as the fallen official is helped out, Charles turns his back while Nia parks Bayley with a headbutt so Eva can land the back of her head against Bayley on a running senton. Eva uses her Instagram favorable legs to choke Bayley against the ropes before bouncing off of them to charge at the champ, but all she gets is the red clotheslined out of her hair. Bayley halts Eva with shoulders into the midsection in the corner, but has her momentum blocked by Charles calling for a very by-the-book break, opening the door for Eva to kick Bayley and hit the best named finisher in the business, Sliced Red number 2. Bayley refuses to be toast though, kicking out at 2 and causing a rift between Eva and Charles while Bayley recovers to run Eva into Little Nate, which wasn't the first time Charles had been knocked out during intergender action. Eva connects on a big boot that Tess could be proud of and hits the high spot of blowing a kiss from the middle rope, but that leaves her exposed for Bayley to cut her off with a leaping blow. Bayley sets up for the super Bayley to belly to put the challenger away, but Nia cuts Bayley off for the second time in this match by yanking her out to the floor. Bayley shows 2 can play at that game though and drops Nia's head directly into the apron, which, between you and me, I've heard is the hardest part of the ring. While Nia recovers on the outside, Bayley returns inside to land the super Bayley to belly as the NXT referee returns to count 3 and save the day for the Full Sail Faithful, with Bayley retaining her title, wrapping a fun one-night storyline playing off the fears of the internet who panicked at the mere mention of models turned wrestlers like Eva Marie and Dana Brooke in the same sentence as the NXT women's title. The internet's second worst fear takes the forefront after the match with the relative of a WWE legend, Nia Jax, dropping the leg on Bayley with the championship in hand to jump the line, and he's taking the title as we fade to black on NXT.
Not too bad, thank you.